loved my classes, actually. I was really nervous when they first started, but I had the greatest professor in the world, Santiago. I had him for 3 classes, and I've had other professors, but I have to say the way that we learned here was a lot different, and some of the things that I hadn't understood before that I was only familiar with became so clear just in the way that someone who is a native speaker could explain them to me.
When I first arrived here in Spain, we started with a language course, and it was very interesting and cool because we had classes with different people from around the world. So I had classes with Russians, people from South Korea, some people from Brazil and Japan, and it was very cool and interesting to communicate with them because most of them didn't speak English. So when we immersed in a conversation, we would speak Spanish, which was awesome because you got to practice your Spanish. You became aware and interested of what the other cultures and communities had to offer.
Hola, bienvenidos a España. I have been able to take 2 classes that really had an impact on my life. I was able to take the gastronomia class, which is a cooking class, which is very enjoyable. We only met about 6 or 7 times, but we got to have a wine tasting and oil tasting, and we also got to cook paella and tapas also, which was very delicious.
Well, the gastronomy class was really interesting for me just because I didn't know anything about Spanish food coming to Spain. So in the cooking class, it was very hands-on. We got to cook a lot of the dishes in the restaurants with the cooks of the restaurants, and that's a pretty unique experience that you don't typically have in the U.S. And we visited the local market here, the main central one, and got to see where different chefs buy a lot of their foods, their meats and their vegetables. Another cool part of it was that we got to visit a local shop that sells wine, and a lot of the wines are from Alicante, and the people are very knowledgeable about their wines and about what tastes good with it, and just the business in general and the industry in general. So it was a very unique class because it's not something that's typically offered in the US, and it's very unique and local to Alicante and to Spain in general.
I also got to take another class, which was a dance class, and growing up I danced for about 10 or 11 years, so it actually gave me a chance to connect with my past. And we learned 2 different types of dances. It was salsa dance and flamenco. My favorite part was salsa dance because they really actually learned a full routine, and we kind of got to really get into it. So if you're looking for some extra classes to take here at University of Alicante, I suggest you take gastronomía y la clase de baile.
I think my classes were really interesting because I didn't know so much Spanish, so this was like really being like thrown into the mix. And my professors were really helpful. Never be afraid to ask for help, but another big lesson to learn about studying Spanish is just going out and practicing it is much better than sitting at your desk writing things out. And there are grammar rules, but that kind of comes with speaking much easier. So get out there, talk to people that you normally don't know, practice everything that you can, and especially with your host families, take advantage of that because they're really helpful and you can learn a ton from them, more than a textbook.